the show. I'm very excited to be joined today by Dr. Noor Ali, who is a surgeon, doctor, philanthropist, and health insurance expert. How are you doing, Dr. Ali?
I am fantastic, Andy. Thank you so much for the opportunity and having me on your show.
Absolutely. I was excited to have you on with me. Today, we're going to be talking about how to prepare yourself against medical inflation. So this is a very relevant topic in an area where we've seen inflation basically across the board. To kick things off, I know that you also volunteer considerable time providing surgical procedures in your home country of Bangladesh. Can you tell us about that and what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a way for me to pay back and serve my country and really give back to the space that made me who I am today. I achieved my success because of my medical education back home. So I went to medical school in Bangladesh at an all-women's medical school. I skipped undergrad and I was able to go straight to pursuing my passions. And I learned so much. I had a tremendous amount of clinical experience at a very, very young age in my early 20s. And I just really wanted a way to give back to my people. It's a low resource, underdeveloped country, and education is one of my top values. So volunteering my time and giving back to my country, my people, where I became who I am today, it's very significant and meaningful to me.
Awesome. I love to hear about that, and learn about that. We were talking offline, and that is so awesome. So kudos
Thank
to
you.
you for that. So in terms of insurance and medical inflation, what do you see as two or three of the biggest challenges facing CEOs and business owners today?
Yes, thank you, Andy, for the question. And I think even without the climate of inflation that we're in right now, medical costs have been a topic of interest and conflict for decades, right? But now in this season, it's even more timely and relevant than ever before, as you've mentioned. What I experience in my day to day is business owners tend to oftentimes just forego this altogether. They just don't want to deal with it, especially if you've got a team of under 50 and you're not obligated by the state or by any laws to provide health insurance benefits for 95% of your employees. They just kind of say, screw it, I'm just not even going to deal with it. Or what I see is they choose kind of like the lowest tier package, whatever the minimum is to kind of get by and meet the requirements and not get fined as an employer. And what ends up happening is the employees aren't really happy with what's been offered. They don't really, use the benefits or it's not suitable for them. And you've got business owners paying for it. It affects their bottom line and employees are unhappy and they just end up not really using it because it's not a best fit for what they need.
Right, absolutely. So how can people prepare and fight against the challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. I recently wrote an article about like 4 ways to protect yourself against medical inflation, and I have 4 tips that I'd like to share today. And we can go over them quickly. And I'd also like to share a story about a real life application on how best to handle these situations. So the first tip I have for listeners is to take advantage of any tax-free health savings contribution. So if you have an HSA, contribute to it. They're tax-free earnings. It also acts as a financial vehicle in terms of it acts like a savings account. So if you have an HSA, take advantage of it, put some money aside. If you do not end up using your HSA dollars for your medical expenses, it also acts as a savings account, which is pretty cool. The second tip that I have is to be proactive about preventive care. One of the biggest causes of medical expenses is unexpected sickness or illness bills, which could have been prevented if you could just, take better care of yourself via lifestyle, or just at the very least, get your annual physical so you can hedge risks, you can know what's happening before it happens, and of course, prevent those unexpected medical bills that are related to unexpected sickness, illness, and chronic conditions. The
Right.
third tip I have today is to seek care at an urgent care before an emergency room. I think at the turn of in 2020 and previously, where we had people flocking to emergency rooms, we pivoted a little bit more to seeking care at urgent care and also telemedicine and virtual care. Those are wonderful alternatives where you can get the same care without that big high ticket expense. the same evaluations, the same treatment costs more at an emergency room setting because it requires more upfront evaluation, more testing, higher cost because there's a shorter turnaround to get those test results back. So if we can get it treated at an urgent care or a virtual visit, choose that first. And the last tip I'll give for your listeners today is to research prescription costs to reduce medical spending. I think this is a big hole that we don't think about often enough. If you're on any recurring medications, you're just kind of used to paying for it. There's lots of alternatives that you can do to reduce that cost, even if it's a few dollars or tens of dollars. It does add up over time. So consider using a prescription coupon service like GoodRx, or if you're lower income, see if you can get your high cost medication to low cost or free using manufacturer coupons or our prescription coupon services and subscription services. Those are great ways to help reduce some of that spending that's recurring.
Awesome tips. I love that. So, what kinds of impacts have you seen and experienced working with executives and companies over the years?
Really just the best advice that I can give from some of the challenges that business owners and CEOs come to me with is they don't want the high cost of a premium of paying health insurance for their employees, and they want employee retention. So my suggestion and how to use health insurance to kind of knock both of those birds in one shot is really ask your employees. The one of the recent stories that I can share that I experienced is a business owner named Cassie, and she was an owner of a creative agency out in California. She really wanted this talent. Her name was Megan, and Megan lived in Georgia. So this is a remote employee that we're talking about. Now, Megan's really comfortable in her role. It's a corporate position. She's got great health insurance, great benefits, but Cassie really wanted this talent. She knows that Megan can take her to the next level. So she came to me with the concern of health insurance because that was Megan's number one concern. She didn't want to leave her corporate job because she was afraid to lose benefits. So Kathy comes to me and says, "Hey, Dr. Nora, what can we do about this?" The first thing I said is, "Hey, let's ask Megan. Let's ask her what she wants. What is it going to take, or what is holding you back from making this career decision?" And then we had a conversation about health insurance, and I was able to build her a policy that checked all of her boxes. So now we have a happy employer because she got the talent that she needs on her team. She's not overpaying for health insurance because we built a policy that's exactly around what Megan wants. It's not more, it's not less. So we're saving those bottom line dollars for the business owner. And Megan's super happy and confident that, okay, I can leave this corporate job where I'm not super duper happy, but I was just hanging on just for health insurance benefits. And now I'm in a role that I'm more fulfilled, I'm more valued, I have the health benefits I want. Everyone's happy. So my best solution for CEOs who have those challenges is ask your employees what they want, and let's work around that solution so we can reduce bottom lines and help with employee retention as well.
Awesome. Love the tips. So, what are the best ways for people to connect with you, Dr. Nora?
Really just find me anywhere online. My website is drnorhealth.com. That's DRNOORHEALTH. There you can find out a lot more about me, what I do, how I can help you, and of course, how health insurance can be the solution to your problems. And I'm also very, very active on social media. So if you can find me on LinkedIn or Instagram, you can see glimpses of my life and stories, or you can see my kid running around. So I'd love to say hello to you on social media as well.
Awesome. I love using social media for conversations back and forth. I found it so helpful in partnerships, new business, referrals. There's just so many awesome things you can do there. So what would you say as a final word of advice for our friends out there listening or watching today?
I would say really, reach out to professionals. I know one of the frameworks, Andy, that you like to promote is work with someone who knows what they're doing or who's had experience in the field to get that professional advice. One of the ways that I like to make it very easy for people is offer free 15-minute consultations. And with my knowledge and clinical background and expertise, all I need is 15 minutes to kind of evaluate your situation and give you a solution based on what problem that you're experiencing. So if you're listening and you have any questions about health insurance and how we can help you as an employer or employee, please reach out to me. I'd love to use my knowledge and expertise to see if I can guide you in your next research.
Awesome. I'm a business owner and I use experts in various different areas to move the business forward. And I totally promote that. Like, talk to an expert in that area. Nobody can know everything. There's no way. So I love that advice. So that's going to do it for our show today. Thank you for listening or watching, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.